You know, one of the simplest ways to get out and fish is just with a couple of split shots and a hook with a minnow on. Easy enough, good way to catch fish. But there is one major rule of thumb that will put more fish in your boat at any given time, and that is relative size. What's relative size? Watch this.
Ah, yes, the minnow. Every fish's favorite meal and every tackle manufacturer's favorite source of imitation. The term minnow is used to designate any small freshwater fish. There are, however, 101 different species found in North America. Creek chub, alewife, redfins, dace, even the carp are all part of the same genus. In bait stores, they take on popular names such as fatheads and shiners. Their ability to reproduce in great numbers is what predators key on, and it is the basis for the theory of relative size. Hey, take a look. In spring, the young minnows begin to leave their spawning nests and head for open water for the first time. As they travel, more and more young minnows begin to join together, and soon huge schools of young fish are formed, mostly for protection from their predators, such as game fish who are keying on the abundance of small fish. Come the summer season, the schools reach their peaks. In larger bodies of waters, their numbers can reach into the thousands. To game fish, this highly visible food source cannot be ignored, and they begin to zero in on an easy, and at this time, filling prey. In the fall, the schools of now mature minnows begin to break up and return near their spot of their birth. Usually holding off the main lake point into their cove, they settle in and await the spawn. At 4 to 6 inches long in the fall, these minnows are just what game fish need to hold them through the winter.
Well, that's relative size in a nutshell. I'm gonna get out in the lake and we'll give it a try. We're jigging in about 20 feet of water here, and I have one running me. I'm gonna give him a few seconds to take this. They're on a light bite today, and we don't want them biting the end off. There we go. That's a smallmouth. Now, if you notice, we have a fish that's not real big, but he's taking a bait fish that is a little on the bigger side. This is the summer season, and these bait fish are growing this time of year, and these fish are keying on it. Not a bad fish on a relatively larger bait. Let's turn the clock back here about 2 months. We'll go to the early spring where we're using the smaller fatheads and show you that even the small baits can catch bigger fish, and the opposite. Take a look. What we like to do here when we're fishing with minnows is keep it simple. It's a simple day, simple bait, simple method. Just a couple of split shots on a number 6, 10 bait hook. We like to have the barbs on the back, just a little something extra to keep that minnow on. Sometimes they can slip off. Oh, there's one. Nice fish. Hey, whoa, right in the mouth. Oh, there's something, aren't they? There she is. There's a good jump. Come here, sweetheart. All right. Like I told you, these fish are keying on this size bait this time of the year. This is spring of the year. This is a nice size fish on a small piece of bait. The reason the bait in the lake at this time of the year is this small, and these fish are keying on it. So we're gonna put her back and let her get to the spawn. There you go. There he goes. There he goes, there he goes. Gotcha. All right. What we got here? Mr. Largemouth. There we go, another one on a minnow bait. I'll tell you what, day in and day out, live bait just can't be beat. You get into some frontal conditions like we face here throughout the year. These fish go down and clam up a little bit, and their strike zone shrinks to about a 2-foot square. There's not much more that's going to bring them up and turn them on than a piece of live meat. That's what we're using here, and that's what we're catching fish on. If I was to switch to a crankbait today, my odds would be twice as low as they are now. Water temperature and air temperature dropped about 20 degrees in 2 days. We were in a massive cold front situation, and a crankbait just wouldn't work. Top water wouldn't work. It's got to be in a strike zone about this big, and it's got to sit there right in front of their face so they have a meal. Sort of like them hot days when you sit there on a sofa watching TV. If you had to get up and get something to eat, you just sit there and think about it. But if there's a bowl of chips right within arm's reach, you're going to be eating all day. You have a small strike zone too. Let's get some more fish. Ooh, we're into one here. Nice fish. Can't tell what it is yet. It looks like a striper, but I'm not sure. On minnow. No, it's a big largemouth. Wrong one. This is what we're up here for today. There we go. Let's have a jump. No. I thought I'd get a jump out of you. There we go. Isn't it amazing how I had a fish that was only about 12 inches long hitting a 3-inch minnow? Now I have a fish about 17 inches long hitting the same 3-inch minnow. They're keying on them. Relative size. That's what you ought to do when you go out. First thing you do, check out the minnow size in the lake. Then go to your bait store and match that fish that you saw in the lake to what's in the tank at the bait store. And hey, if you can't do that, get a net and go out and get some yourself. But you gotta match the size determined by the time of the year you're fishing. Go out, do that, you're gonna put quality fish on the end of your line. Until next month, Mitch Duguay, just fishing.